Patron Sparrow1115 suggested I talk about this. Cyberfire Bumblebee, aka one of the most evil Bumblebee toys ever made. But I decided, you know what, let's spruce things up a bit. Let's not just talk about one evil Bumblebee toy, let's talk about two. So today we're going to talk about the evil side of the Bumbleboy, with the Dark of the Moon Cyberfire Bumblebee, and this dark black and gold Beast Hunters Deluxe Bumblebee. I kind of forget the name they called him, but he's very evil and vicious looking. So evil, in fact, I actually kind of have a backstory for him to explain why he looks so freaking evil. But let's talk about Cyberfire Bumblebee. So, good old Dark of the Moon, man. This was actually one of the lines that got me into collecting Transformers. It's actually really crazy. I think probably within the next few weeks, I don't have an exact date, but we are approaching the 10-year anniversary of when I started collecting Transformers. It's kind of crazy. I have not been in the game as long as others, but I have a lot. Probably about 2,000 Transformers at this point. I haven't counted in a while. Last time I counted, it was like 1,500. It's a lot. But yeah, man, good old Cyberfire Bumblebee. Awesome figure. Really, really do love this one. The original Deluxe Bumblebee, the normal deco of this is actually the very first version of movie Bumblebee that I ever owned. I saw it in Kmart of all places, because I had a Kmart really close to my house, and I was like, you know what, man? I want a Bumblebee. Let's get this. And I really enjoyed it. It wasn't until more recently that I ended up getting this Cyberfire redeco. Where exactly I got it, I can't really recall. I can't really remember where I got this. I'm not sure if someone sent it in, or if I got it at the thrift store, or I bought it on eBay for cheap. It's one of the few figures I actually don't really remember where I got it. It's very rare that I don't remember, but I don't remember for this one. And that makes him a little creepier to me. Not really a fan of not knowing where he came from. But basically, the whole premise of this figure is that he is a Cyberfire Bumblebee, where he's, I don't know, he's just got cyber and fire. You can see he's got what appears to be cyber fire on his body that will also be on his alt mode. But one of the most key details are his eyes. His nice, friendly, red eyes. Totally not evil at all. Totally not completely out of focus at this point. Yeah, his eyes are absolutely horrifying. Made even more horrifying if you grab a light and decide to get the light piping going. Then yeah, not great. Actually really evil. Not really a fan of this. Honestly, gonna give me nightmares. Geez, in a previous video I filmed, I freaking mentioned those Mandalorian cave spiders crawling up your nose, and now I'm talking about this thing. Ew. But dude, this looks really cool. Come on. Weird, evil-looking Bumblebee, black and yellow. Honestly, I really love Bumblebee when he is black and yellow instead of yellow and black. Something about it, man. Like the Beast Hunters redeco, I really enjoy. The redeco of Bumblebee for Robots in Disguise. I really love that figure, because I just love Bumblebee when he's black and yellow instead of the other way around. But yeah, really neat figure. Let's transform it, man. Let's do that. Honestly, because I mean, we already know the mold. It poses great. It's honestly one of the best Bumblebees you can get when it comes to the deluxe scale. I don't think Studio Series has done a Dark of the Moon Bumblebee quite yet, but if they would, honestly, I'm not really sure if it would be too much better than this one. Probably one of the only things better about it would be that they would use this space back here a little more wisely and have this stuff actually collapse into him more instead of just kind of hanging there. That's really the only thing I can think of that Studio Series would do better. It's kind of nostalgic messing with this figure, because 10 years ago, I would have been, what, 13? Oh, man. I would have been 13 years old getting into Transformers. I mean, I did have them growing up, right? I had Transformers, but it wasn't until I was 13 where I was like, I am going to collect Transformers and have a collection of them. And look at where it's become. It's gotten a little crazy. So let's do it. Let's do it. Let's see his evil Cybertronian mode. His evil Cyberfire creepy mode. One funny thing, to transform him in car mode, you flip down the windows. The windows are just for robot mode, oddly enough. because he's like this modified version of the Camaro, where it's almost like a rally car. Because I mean, it does kind of fit with the Wreckers too. You know, a bit of a rally car look, because you can see he has like the things on the window there, like a rally car, and he's got the spoiler. Kind of neat. Kind of a neat idea for Dark of the Moon. Honestly, man, Dark of the Moon was not that bad of a movie. And the toy line, I gotta admit, was also not that bad. I mean, heck, it was one thing that got me into collecting these in the first place. So yeah, man, I'm actually quite a big fan of Dark of the Moon. Even though I totally will confess that at least the first half of the movie is not that good at all. But man, once they get into Chicago, it's actually pretty good stuff. What else is pretty good stuff is this car mode. Ooh, look at that. I'm really digging the deco on this. It's just so neat, man. Look at that. Look at how neat this is. Look at how neatly it folds. It's such an easy and smooth transformation, too. That's one thing. The Studio Series figures, yes, they're better, objectively. But when it comes to the transformation and everything, they're not as fun. They're not as fluid. Like, this thing I could seriously do with my eyes closed. You know what? Let's do that. I'm going to transform him with my eyes closed. Because I have played with this figure so much. I know everything. I know everything about this guy. I'm going to transform him with my eyes closed. I'm doing it. My eyes are closed. Let's see. You'll have to excuse if he gets out of frame a little bit. Because obviously, can't see. But yeah, let's get this going. Aw, man, what a fun figure. It's just so good. It's just so good, though. I mean, Hasbro really did a good job making, like, a fun, fluid figure from this Bumblebee. Then let's get that clicked. I don't really put the chest up all the way. Alright, legs seem kind of straight. Oh, this is fun. You guys should do this sometime. You guys should do this. Like, grab a Transformer you're pretty familiar with. Transform it with your eyes closed. Alright, boom, there we go. There we go. Only thing, just the backpack a little bit. Aw, man, that was fun. Okay, now my studio lights are, like, blinding me because my eyes got used to the darkness. Oh, what a fun figure. I love it. Love it so much. Let's talk about this one. This one actually also has some ties to one of my first Bumblebees, being a retool of the Robots in Disguise Bumblebee. One of my very first... I think that was my very first Bumblebee, period. The Dark of the Moon mold was my first movie Bumblebee. I did actually give him Black Arachne as stingers, because number one, I felt like they actually kind of fit the black and gold, and you know, it's kind of purpley instead of like the teal there, but I feel like it really fits. It's like giving him extra weapons, making him look a little more fierce and stingery. So let me tell you about this Bumblebee. With him being gold, he actually kind of gave me some Unicron vibes, and like seeing this is almost like Dark Energon or like Energon spikes. So I actually like to think that this is almost like a Nemesis Bumblebee, like a Bumblebee clone made by Unicron. Because it just looks so evil, man. It does have light piping as well. Doesn't work nearly as good as the Dark of the Moon one. I mean, he has it, but it doesn't really work at all. Kind of a shame. But still, just makes his eyes look very dead, I guess. I mean, look at how violent he looks. Like, black and gold? What a... like, dude. I have not heard any things with gold plastic syndrome on this. Oftentimes, the cause of that was, like, the metallic flakes they added to the plastic, where that metallic actually made the plastic less durable because there was less plastic in the material. But I'm not noticing any metallic flake in this, so it should hold up pretty all right. It's just a matter of, you know, fingers crossed. Let's just hope that it doesn't just die on itself. But yeah, really, really interesting figure. I don't have as much to say about with this one, because it's not as near and dear to me, because it's a freak of nature. It looks like a beast, literally, beast hunters. Yeah, let's just transform him real quick. His transformation is super easy, too. I could probably also do this with my eyes closed, but I'm not going to, because I don't feel like it. One thing, though, you can see all these gears and everything. He has, like, this automorph gimmick that is kind of scary. It's one of those where you're kind of like, oh, am I going to break it? Like, geez, there we go. It's like everything just kind of folds and flips. There we go. You're kind of like, man, am I going to break something here? I always forget those spikes actually stay up front. It's always my instinct to, like, move them to the back. But you can see, man, this guy's almost already done. Yeah, I don't know what Hasbro was thinking with this color scheme. It's so funny though. They made this Bumblebee toy, right? They made an evil, like, black and gold looking Bumblebee. And by the way, he's supposed to be a good guy with both of these toys. He's still supposed to be good guy Bumblebee. He just looks like a freak of nature monster man with evil spikes and black and gold. He doesn't look very friendly anymore, but he's still supposed to be a good guy. But yeah, it's kind of funny they did this, but not the actual Beast Hunter's Bumblebee deco from the movie. They did with the big talking figure, and I love that talking figure. One of my like top 10 favorite Transformers, period, for whatever reason. But still, it's a fun figure. I can tell, though, the plastic on this figure that just came out like 2 years before actually feels nicer than this one. I feel like 2012 and 2013, conveniently some of my first years into collecting, were some of the worst. The plastic quality wasn't as good. The figures felt kind of cheap and flimsy, especially compared to what they do nowadays. Now, granted, that's a burp, my bad. Now, granted, what they do nowadays, they charge a little bit more for. Like, Voyagers are now 30 instead of 20 like they used to be. And Deluxes are now like, what, $22.99 instead of $12.99 like they used to be. So we're paying like $10 more than we used to on like every front. On every scale, it's like $10 more. Except for whatever reason, like the core class, those are still, you know, like $9.99. Or even though I think they're like probably like $12.99, something stupid like that now. But yeah, there we go. Taking a look at some evil Bumblebees. Both very stout and stocky too. Especially the Dark of the Moon one. He almost looks fat with how stocky he is. Why is that not... Maybe just... I don't know. It just feels like it's sticking out a little too far. I say. Oh well, I'm not going to worry about it. But yeah, there we go. One thing I like about this Bumblebee too, if you actually like have him transformed in car mode and you flip this panel up, he has like these little guns right there. So you actually can have him like weaponized with some artillery in car mode. Just, man, it's so fun when they add little details like that into figures. I don't feel like they do that too much nowadays. But still, I mean, Transformers nowadays, it's one thing with like Hasbro Star Wars, whenever I make a video on new stuff where I'm like, man, it's not like how it used to be. But it's kind of interesting looking back on Transformers from 10 years ago and thinking these are really good toys. We're kind of in the golden age right now. Even though they're more expensive, they definitely are giving us nicer products, that's for sure. But man, I'm so nostalgic over these. I didn't have Cyberfire 10 years ago. I had the original version. But man, I have had him since 2013, so we're approaching 10 years on that one. It's crazy. It's really nice looking back on some old Transformers. It really is. I might do that for my next Transformers video. I might just do a little retrospective, talk about maybe some of my first figures. That sounds fun. I think I might do that. I think that might be what I'll do. Talk about how I started. That's what I'm going to do. Next Transformers video, stay tuned. How I got into Transformers collecting. That's what I'm going to do. Alright, let's go. Thank you all so much for watching. And special shout out to the patrons of Patreon, including Sparrow1115, who was the person that put in the request for this. By being a Commander patron, you get to ask me to make videos, and I am, in a way, financially obligated to do them. But, hey, I love doing them. And thank you all so much for all the support. Both patrons, non-patrons, subscribers, non-subscribers. Just thank you for watching. YouTube's been a fun hobby for me. I don't play the YouTube game. Like, sure, I have like 37,000 subscribers, but I don't have like the clout that some people do, because I just do this for fun. I just live in my own little bubble of YouTube, and I enjoy doing what I'm doing. You're my community. You're my toy community. I don't go on Facebook groups. I don't go on forums. You're my toy community. A lot of what I hear about is actually from you guys or news sites. But mostly you guys, actually. I get a lot of news from you guys in the comments and messages. Thank you all so much. I'm in a really warm mood right now. That's what this video has done to me. Alrighty, guys. I've said it once. I'll say it 1,000 times. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.